everyone. We're a minute late already. Can we call the meeting to order, please?
Can you make sure your mic is turned on?
Photo, roll call.
Um,
I apologize.
there you go.
Ms.
Okay.
Turner, Ms. Rich, Mr. Burris,
Here.
Mr. Grossman,
Here.
Mr. Wood,
Here.
Mr. Fuchs.
Here.
Can we have the attorney explain the quasi-judicial procedures and read the quasi-judicial announcement, please?
This is a quasi-judicial proceeding. While the Board of Adjustment acts in a quasi-judicial rather than a legislative capacity at a quasi-judicial hearing, it is not the board's function to make law, but rather to apply law that has already been established. In a quasi-judicial hearing, the board is required by law to make findings of fact based upon the evidence presented at the hearing and apply those findings of fact to previously established criteria contained in the Code of Ordinances in order to make a legal decision regarding the application before it. The board may only consider evidence at this hearing that the law considers competent, substantial, and relevant to the issues. If the competent, substantial, and relevant evidence at the hearing demonstrates that the applicant has met the criteria established in the Code of Ordinances, then the board is required by law to find in favor of the applicant. By the same token, if the competent, substantial, and relevant evidence at the hearing demonstrates that the applicant has failed to meet the criteria established in the Code of Ordinances, then the board is required by law to find against the applicant. There is an established procedure which will be followed at this quasi-judicial hearing. All witnesses must give their testimony under oath. All persons testifying at the hearing must give their name and address for the record. All testimony and questioning at this hearing must address matters that are relevant and material to the issues under consideration. The city staff will present its testimony and evidence first. The applicant will have an opportunity to cross-examine the city staff. The applicant will then present its testimony and witnesses. The city staff will have an opportunity to cross-examine the applicant's witnesses. Members of the public opposing the application will then be given an opportunity to present testimony. After all members of the public speaking in opposition to the application have concluded, members of the public in support of the application will have the opportunity to present testimony. Each member of the public is limited to 4 minutes of testimony. The applicant will then have an opportunity to make a closing argument or summary, after which city staff will be given an opportunity to make a closing argument or summary. Following this, the board will consider the matter. Board members may ask questions of the witnesses. At this point in the proceedings, a motion will be made and a vote will be taken. Are there any disclosure of ex parte communication? Any conflicts of interest by board members? No? Okay, if anybody's going to testify, we'll swear you in. The only one testifying.
Anyone who's going to testify?
Anybody else bringing testimony? Please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony before the Board of Adjustment shall be the truth, so help you?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 24, number 24-04 has been withdrawn by the applicant. Next item on the agenda is number 24-11, Mr. Andriotis. And staff presentation, please.
Okay. Allie Keene with the Planning and Zoning Department, Principal Planner. The subject property is located off of Seabreeze Drive. It's outlined in red here on the screen. This property, as well as the adjacent property to the west, are zoned R100A, which is a single-family residential zoning district. The other properties along Seabreeze Drive are within the R100 zoning district, also a single-family zoning district. The applicants are here today requesting a variance to reduce the front yard setback for the purpose of constructing a 2-story attached garage addition onto their existing home. They are proposing a front setback of 19.25 feet, which is the green line shown here on the plan. And I have turned this so it fits better on the screen. So Seabreeze Drive is here. They are proposing a 19.25 front setback here, whereas a 25 minimum front setback is what is required in the R100 zoning district. The existing home footprint is shaded here in blue, and the proposed garage is shaded in orange here. They're proposing a approximately 22 by 29 foot garage, which is a standard 2-car garage. There's a little bit of site history with this property as to why it's in the current zoning district that it is. It was originally platted, this property, in 1951 as part of the Seabreeze Island subdivision. In 1953, this property, as well as the adjacent property, Lot 57 to the west, were under common ownership. The existing home on the subject site was built in 1967, while Lot 57 remains vacant today. The previous owner, back in 2020, went through the process to rezone these properties to the R100A zoning district, and that was really for the purpose of being able to split these lots into the historic layout. So the R100 zoning created conforming lots and allowed them to split the properties into two and recognize that historic lot layout as two separate buildable properties. In 2023, the applicant purchased the subject property, which again is Lot 55 with the home, and the existing home does comply with the current R100A setbacks. However, due to the home layout on this property, a garage addition really could only be accommodated in the front of the property. These are your review standards for a variance, and with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any board members have any questions for staff? Nobody? Would you please tell us what you're looking for, what your presentation is tonight?
Yes.
Your name and address first, please.
Yes, George Andriotis, 1656 Seabreeze Drive. That's the subject property here. So we are proposing to add a garage in the front, a 2-car garage in the front of the home. The home had a single-car garage, which either the prior owner or the owner before made into a laundry room and a storage area, so currently has no garage at all. And to fit, an average size garage would be what we're proposing to do. And, that's pretty much it. We want to do a little bit of an addition to the house, which will go above the garage, but in essence, the footprint was designed to be a normal size garage.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Yeah, I do. So this is going to be a 2-story garage?
It's going to be a 1-story garage, so the house is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And above the garage will be a bedroom and an office.
Okay. Is there a tree still in the front yard there?
There is a Australian pine.
Okay. I just, for the record, if we do approve, we're not approving any tree removal or trimming of the tree. We don't do that part of it, so.
Right, any sort of tree removal would have to go through the permitting process. So during that process, when they do the building plans, if they notice trees on the property, they have to get the proper approvals for that if necessary.
Yeah,
So
just
no,
want-
you're not necessarily approving the tree. They still have to go through that second step.
I just wanted that put down that we're not approving tree anything, so, because it's a 2-story, if we
And
do approve.
to answer it from my perspective, we're not taking that tree down. It's about 20, from the corner of the garage, it's about 24 feet from that corner, so the canopy
One
is,
limb, though, looked like it came pretty far over it. You might have to trim it back or something, but
yeah,
I just want to make sure we weren't approving any tree
Yeah. No problem.
adjustment.
no problem.
Okay.
Anyone else? Any public comment? Any questions from the board? Any, expand on anything?
No.
Okay. Call for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve application 24-11 as was submitted.
Second,
I second it.
roll call, please.
Mr. Fuchs?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Grossman?
Yes.
Mr. Burris?
Yes. Are there any comments from the staff? Any more comments from the staff? No, okay.
Thank you all, I appreciate it.
Thank
Happy
you.
building.
Happy building.
I'm sorry, Mr. Boris, were you asking for the staff comments portion or in reference to the application?
I see, okay, thank you. Okay. Okay. What else we have on the agenda? Adjournment meeting. Approve minutes. Go through the- Oh, March 27th, Wednesday, March 27th, approval of minutes. Can we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve minutes of March 27th.
I'll second. Second, thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Fuchs?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm having a technical issue here. Mr. Grossman?
Yes.
Mr. Burris?
Yes. Any board or staff comments?
Yes, I do have a comment. You may have noticed that at the end of your packet that we provided you are finally the draft of the comprehensive plan. Mr. Boris, you may recall several months ago, we had all the advisory boards come together and help us start the process of updating the city's comprehensive plan. Some of our new members were not a part of that process, but we've gotten to the point where we have a draft. We wanted to provide it just for you guys to look over. Our next steps are really sharing this with the other advisory boards. The Planning and Zoning Board has had extensive help throughout this process to get it to where we are today. And we are going to be presenting it to the general public. We're working on planning our next workshop. And then we'll probably be coming back to you guys and inviting you for another round of just final review and comment on that. So stay tuned, there's more to come, but we wanted to provide you our draft at this point. So enjoy, happy reading.
Thank you.
What was the time frame that we would need to be ready for with comments?
So we're basically looking at like the month of May of doing our final round of kind of review. So what you're seeing is kind of, it's not the final draft. The final draft is what will be ultimately approved by the Board of Commissioners, but this is really kind of the draft that took into consideration all the public comment that has happened over the past couple years, as well as input from our boards at that time frame as well. But we're going to have kind of, here it is, and do the last round. I would anticipate maybe mid-May is when we'd probably come back to you guys. And we'll probably plan kind of a separate meeting for everyone to come and participate.
So you're streamlining the two items here, right?
Yeah, I did,
Very good.
for you.
All right, then. We passed that. Any board or any other comments? Board, any members? No? Okay, then at 6:45, we are 3 minutes ahead of the last meeting. We are adjourned.